The Aurès Mind project is a dynamic and interactive digital project that focuses on the auras and the dilemma of its global development. It presents in a first step, through its platform, the most important and necessary issues of the region, with those who are considered the elites of this region and its active classes, among which the administrative, intellectuals, while the second phase goes to the review of these dialogues on the most important actors of the civil society in a concern of discussion and orientation with the general public, then proceeds to the endorsement and framing, which gives the idea of civil society its true meaning and puts it on the table of examination.
There are a series of questions to discuss the most important topics followed by Algerians in social media. First, does this following reflect the real needs of Algerians? Second, is the solution to create a bridge to shift the focus of Algerians' attention from their following circles to their real needs? Third, given the greater following of media pages, can we play a parallel media role to what exists for orientation? Fourth, the cultural pages have not exceeded tens of thousands, so is the method of imitation by creating a channel for this Algerian a matter of entertainment media channels. Fifth, the Algerian prefers videos to reading, especially those that adopt a sarcastic and entertaining method, so what should be done then? Instead of media treatment, there must be media coverage of projects. The biggest problem that haunts Algerian youth, especially in Batna, is the void in cultural and life animation. They feel that the reality around them is completely dead by focusing on activating their curiosity because of the pessimism camped on the general atmosphere.
In order to frame this whole process, we had to draw the initial general structure of the offering so that we could articulate our thoughts around it. The project will include various segments of professors, executives, scholars and business people. Thus, the process will adopt the principle of a dialogue strategy before preparing the script. And it starts with defining the general framework by defining the relationship of the dialogue with the objectives of the association and choosing topics that fit into the list of the most followed topics on social networks. Constructing appropriate questions and focusing on introducing guests into the objective thematic dynamic. This is done by pushing the speakers to make statements in line with the development of the framework and by setting a time for the interventions.
The mechanism of the program adopts one of the most important theories of communication in the social context. Communication is a co-construction of meaning in context by engaging with the environment in a strategic view that depends on framing and influence, in which feedback is part of a vision of communication as an interaction to manage relationships, establish compromises and reach consensus. The channel will be like a transition hub between the two bars of this ship that takes a quantitative view focused on continuous improvement at the level of protocols and media.
Finally, to simplify the notion of feedback, here is a concrete example of a hybrid navigation system for sailboats. The control system adapts to the future course thanks to the past performance provided by the feedback system, and if the boat loses its course, the feedback information is transmitted from the magnetic compass to an electric motor to steer the rudder, and this autopilot allows, depending on the sea conditions, to avoid yawing and excessive engine fatigue.